All right, now that I've came around, I hope everybody's doing well. We'll be using Peaceful Noel and Wishing You Well, and they are from the holiday catalog. This is a card that I came up with when I'm doing a stamp and stack for one of my workshop ladies, and it's all Christmas cards. So during the time that we were getting DSP free when you host a workshop or have a party or whatever, you'd get free DSP. So I'm going to use mine to make this card, and I'm also using it for the stamp and stack. So how cool is it? That just turned out so nice. So these are the three colors I'm using from it. It's called Dashing Along. This green I'm going to flip over. So those will be the three colors on the card. They'll actually go just like this. So that's how they'll be on the card, actually. Like that. I think it looks so cool. How cool is that? Super cool. So we'll be using that. And then I'm also going to use the Stamparatus. The Stamparatus has new accessories. On page 207 is where you'll find it in the main catalog. In the accessories you'll find online. I'm using the grid paper to help me. So when I have my workshop or stamp and stack, everybody will just be able to line it up and stamp it. As you can tell, I have the grids marked, so that's all they'll have to do is put their piece of paper there and stamp. So there's also that, the Stamparatus, and I told you about the Peaceful Noel and Wishing You Well, which is in the holiday catalog. The Peaceful Noel is on page 29, and Wishing You Well is on 35. Actually, Wishing You Well is one of my favorite stamp sets so far out of the holiday catalog. Okay, so I'm using Cherry Cobbler and Garden Green, and they are in page 187 of the main catalog. So we'll be using those. I'm also using a Whisper White, as you can tell. I'm using the colors from the background. From the paper. I pulled them right from the paper. So I'm using Cherry Cobbler, which is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and then the Whisper White is a 3 by 3, and then the paper, I cut a strip of 4 inch. It's 4 inches wide, and I'll show you why it's not cut down yet. And then I cut 2 of the other 2 colors 2 by 4. So let's make the back, the main base of the card, which is I'm using an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of Garden Green. I love for everything to coordinate, so I try to pick from the DSP. If I'm using a DSP, I will go in and pick all those colors from the DSP. I'm going to take the 8 1/2 by 11, and on the 11, I'm going to take it up to 4. Oh my gosh, 4 1/4. Actually, yes, 4 1/4. My brain stopped for a second. I'm going to score it, and that's at the 8 1/2. And then I'm going to turn it on the 11, and at 5 1/2, I'm going to cut it. So that's the best way I can think of to use a base. And I got 2 of them, so it works out great. Set one aside for later. We'll fold her down. There we go. All right, so let's do the Garden Green first, and I don't know if you guys have seen these. It's a simple chamois. It's what I'm going to use to clean my stamps with. And this is actually on page 206. You just add, I keep mine in a case. You just rinse it off with water. Works great. Rinse it, wring it like a rag. At least that's what I like to say. It's just funny. It's been a little while since I've done a video. I've been kind of busy preparing for workshops and Stampin' Stacks, which I love doing, so I am going to use the garden green and just press it down on the stamp. I already have it set up, so here it goes. Press it down. Awesome. I love this thing. Now you can see how you can see the color still on it. Watch the chamois. Just takes it right off. Clean. Perfect. How awesome is that? Now we'll set that aside. Away the green, not going to need it anymore. Now we're going to grab the red, which is a cherry cobbler. Looks more like a burgundy, but alright. My stamps are set up. We're using the bow. We're using the bow from here, and we already have the wreath. And then from this one, we're using these, where are they? These 3 little dots, and the May Your Christmas Be Holly, Jolly, and Bright. Isn't that just lovely? So I'm going to put on the Holly, Jolly, and Bright first. And I'm stamping it near the bottom so I have room for the bow up top. So on the inside. Just stamping her right down. And remember, with these bright, dark colors, you don't want to run up your hand across it because it will smudge it. So there's that one. And then I'm going to take the little holly berries and just put them in 3 different places. Probably be 5. 2 on each side. And then 1 on the bottom. Super cute. And then the bow. This bow is so beautiful. It's just gorgeous. Alright, and this I'm going to put the center of the bow right at the top. So it's right here on the top of the wreath. And there we go. How nice is that? And like I said, the dark colors, you don't want to rub your hand across it because you will smear it. So we're going to let that dry for a little bit before we assemble. And we're done with the ink. So that's all done. Now we're going to put the DSP on this garden green background. So is what I did the bottom and then the top, and then we'll put the center one on. So, and I like using double-sided tape. I just get the 4 corners. You can use whatever your little heart desires. And then this pattern I'm putting at the bottom, and I'm leaving 1/4 of an inch. I'm literally just centering it and leaving 1/4 of an inch. See how I got my 1/4 of an inch right here? I'll do the same thing with this other pattern. And you can mix and match and do whatever you want with most of our DSP because it all coordinates. That's why I love it. See how I'm leaving this 1/4 of an inch again? Yep, so it's creating its own border. Okay, so on here you can tell that it kind of looks torn. It's not a regular straight cut. So what I've done is I just cut a 4-inch sheet out of it, and I'm gonna just tear it down. Just tear it across. And then that will be our centerpiece, which is right there. How cool is that? These colors look so awesome together. I hope you guys are liking my tutorials. I like doing them, so if you haven't subscribed, please do. You'll probably see a little picture of me coming up near the end of the movie. Near the end of the video, and just click on it and subscribe to show me how much you like my videos. And then when my next one comes up, it'll show up in your inbox saying that there's a video ready. See what I'm doing next. All right, I'm gonna put this on and hope. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't. I don't want it to smear. Okay, it might be dry enough because it looks pretty good. Just don't want to smear it. So pretty. And like I said, I just go to the 4 corners. Seems to work out pretty good for me. And then I'll center it here. I have another 1/4 of an inch. I like using the 1/4 as a border. Okay. And then I'm going to use dimensionals, which are on page 213. I'm going to use 5 of them in the main book. I don't know where I love dimensionals. They are so awesome. Okay. And then if you've noticed, I use this grid paper too. I use it for everything. I use it in all my workshops. I'll use it at my Stampin' Stacks. And even for here. Matter of fact, when I have them for my workshops, I bring all the ones down from the workshop and I'll reuse them. And there, believe it or not, these are 11 by 17. There's 100 sheets. So it's a good bargain for not getting everything all messed up. All right, and I'm just putting it up towards the top, leaving a little bit of room. Actually, it's going towards the center, I'm sorry. Right over top. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Beautiful. So again, this is Peaceful Noel and Wishing You Well. And it is in the holiday catalog. If you haven't gotten a holiday catalog yet, send me a message or go to www.irenethompson.stampinup.net and leave me a message and say, hey, I'd like one of those holiday catalogs. I'll be more than happy to send one to you. Or even a Stampin' Up! Catalog. And if you're interested in purchasing anything from me, you can also go there. So enjoy, and thank you for watching. Hope I was helpful for you. And remember, subscribe, it's free. And happy crafting. And have an awesome day. Bye, guys.